John Watson with Brian McClare there. He's getting his last facts and figures correct, isn't he, Motty?
He hasn't got one of their suits, has he?
Probably.
John, of course, our match commentator today. Those pictures of them arriving recorded just now. And this is the Crystal Palace players and the Crystal Palace captain there on the pitch, and Steve Coppell. And that's Ian Wright. Now, will he play? Will he start the match? The teams haven't yet been confirmed. Do you expect him to, Bob?
I think he should play, Des. I really do. I think that the combination, that Bright and Wright combination, has been so important to Palace in getting back into the First Division in the playoff stage last year. And I really believe that, I mean, he wouldn't be playing in a reserve team game and getting through it and scoring a goal in the past week or so. And I think it's very, very important for Palace this afternoon. I think United were worried about it.
Now, I ought to just point out they're the England lady players who've been playing a little exhibition match here against Scotland, and clearly they're well known to the Crystal Palace boys. We've been talking about underdogs, haven't we? We've talked about Crystal Palace as the underdogs, but in a sense, it's a misnomer, isn't it? Because they've beaten United in the league
and they've drawn with them, and also they're on exactly the same points in the First Division at the end of the season. So the only reason it's called underdogs today, Palace, is the fact that they cost possibly £3 million and come from South London, and Manchester United cost 11, 12,000. Yeah, 11, 12,000. You're only talking about the size of the club in the mind, but as regards, I don't think there's an underdog today in terms of current form at all.
Their records say that both teams are entitled to win the match, and both teams could lose it today. I think it'll be very close.
And of course, if you're talking about underdogs, the underdogs have got a super record here in recent seasons, haven't they?
They have.
Wimbledon with Coventry, etc.
Yeah. First timers, both those clubs were first timers, and for Crystal Palace it's first timers as well. This is very important for the Crystal Palace lads, because only one really, Andy Thorne, who played with Wimbledon a couple of seasons ago, knows about this pre-match, going out there, getting a feel of the surface, getting used to the atmosphere. A lot of people say, well, will they freeze? Well, Coventry didn't freeze and Wimbledon didn't freeze, and I really don't expect these lads to freeze at all either.
They're too busy to freeze because their manager will have them so hyped up, looking upon themselves to an extent as the less glamorous side, if not underdogs, to run until they drop for the Palace cause. I mean, that's what they did against Liverpool, and they wore them down. They would not be beaten in the end. But a very interesting point you make about picking players who've recently been injured, going back to the 1982 World Cup, when Ron Greenwood didn't start with Trevor Brookie and Kevin Keegan, two of our star players at that time, and brought them on at a point where we'd already got behind. I think it's very important psychologically to play your best team first, if they've got through a reserve game, as Bob says. Don't disappoint the enemy. Put your most frightening side out to start with. Then if they break down, then bring in the substitutes.
Well, whatever, it'll be a lifetime's experience for all these Crystal Palace players today, Bob, won't it?
It's just an amazing day, Des. It remains, I think, in the sporting calendar. OK, I'm a footballing man, but it is very difficult to describe. I know just leaving home today, and my wife tends to be a footballing lady, but she had a knot in her stomach. It's cup final day. There is a special thing about it.
What about the goalkeepers today? I mean, I tried to draw Dennis Law on that a little earlier, but he was quite jokey in his response. But I mean, Martin had that wonderful semi-final. Leighton has been the subject of a little bit of criticism throughout the season. What do you think about
I've probably seen
today?
More of Nigel Martin than anybody, because he's playing for Bristol Rovers. I think Fulham only scored once against Bristol Rovers when he's been in goal, and I've seen all those matches. And he is quite spectacular. He is a goalkeeper that will take your breath away. And obviously, Jim Leighton, an international player, must have quality, but everybody says he's suspect.
More from you in a moment.
Gary O'Reilly of Crystal Palace, how does the atmosphere compare to what you expected?
It's great. I mean, there seems to be a lot of Crystal Palace support in here, and for only 14,000 people, I think they've done brilliantly, especially down on the approach to the stadium as well.
And another goal like yours in the semi-final, that would do you nicely today?
It would indeed, it would.
The Palace team, as I understand it, the same as the semi-final, with Ian Wright and David Madden on the bench?
I believe so, yes.
So you're a happy man at this moment, looking forward to it? Bit nervous?
Yeah, a bit nervous, but you know, got so much to concentrate on, you haven't got time for nerves.
Kerry O'Reilly, thank you very much. All the best.
Thank you.
John Pemberton of Crystal Palace. Mixed emotions for you. You were a United supporter not so long ago.
Yeah, that's right. If I wouldn't have been playing here today, I'd have been stood up there with them lads. It's a fantastic day really for everybody, isn't it?
You're not going to be short of support, it doesn't look like.
No, it doesn't look like. We've just been down the bottom there and we didn't get a lot of tickets, but they're going to make enough noise, so hopefully they can cheer us through.
And for a player who spent some years in the lower divisions, it's an even bigger day, surely.
Oh, of course it is, yeah. I mean, I've put around the 4th division like a lot of our players have done. But like we had chances to play in the 1st division and we've all took that, and this is a highlight really of the whole season we've had.
And Jeff Thomas, the captain, that's something you share with John, experience in the lower divisions?
Oh yes, to say of 2 years ago, asked me and John where we'd like to be, you know, obviously we'd say Wembley, but to be actually turn out here for Crystal Palace today is something special for everybody.
You said to me yesterday you couldn't really take it in, you were there, and that's why you weren't so nervous. You take it in now?
I'll definitely take it in, but I'm enjoying it. It's not got to me yet, you know, the nerves are obviously tingling, but I mean, before every game you get nervous, but I mean, it's, hopefully, you know, everything goes well for us today.
Try and enjoy it, both of you. Thanks very much indeed. All the best. Andy Thorne of Crystal Palace, how does it compare to 2 years ago with Wimbledon?
Yeah, it's great day. We can take a lot more in this time and the fans have been brilliant and we're just looking forward to it.
And do you have deep down any fears at all?
Not really. I mean, if we go about our business, we should be okay, you know.
And what are the folks saying to you? You've got family in the crowd here?
I've just been looking for them, but I can't find them. They'll probably give them some stick afterwards, but no, as I say, it's going to be a great day and we're going to turn in a good performance, I hope.
And the important thing is to take it all in.
That's right. I mean, don't rush about and, you know, hopefully we can enjoy ourselves.
Andy Thorne, all the best. Thank you very much indeed.
Good luck to Newcastle tomorrow as well. I hope they get a result. Cheers.
Okay.
Well, he's done it once already with Wimbledon, of course, a couple of seasons ago. It sounds, from what they're saying, as though Ian Wright won't start the match for Crystal Palace, but we'll have confirmation of the teams in due course.